Let's start off with video pitches. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've absolutely have seen a trend in more grants asking for video pitches. In the chat, if you can, let me know yes that you are seeing a trend. Have you seen this question come up? Like share with us a 1 minute video. I'm definitely seeing more and more grants asking for this FaceTime. And it makes sense, right? Because I think that video is a great opportunity for you to make a connection with someone, to have that FaceTime, and for you to kind of put like a face to a name and kind of get that like just that rapport, build that rapport. So I think videos is this very smart idea, and I could see why funders really like this, but I also can see why as a creator it can be very complicated and very stressful to put together. I literally have like photos that I've shared personally of me doing maybe like 50 takes of this 1 minute video. Like it took me 50 tries to get this together. So from a creator standpoint, someone who's applying, an applicant standpoint, it could be very challenging to put together a 1 minute video because 1 minute is not a lot of time. I decided, you know what? I'm not going to let the video requirement hold me back. I've seen that it still takes me a long time. It takes me a long time to get these videos out, but I feel more confident and I'm not letting this one aspect like hinder me from applying. If you see a grant application saying video is optional, it's not optional. It's not optional, and a grant writer told me this and confirmed this with me years ago, and that kind of changed my mind because, again, if you're not submitting the video that's optional, and someone else, they're having that 1 minute to build that rapport, have that FaceTime, advocate for themselves. So you are at a disadvantage if you're not submitting that pitch video. So a couple things to think about, right? Optional is not optional. Submit the video. It might take you a couple tries to get there to have a final cut, but here are some things for you to keep in mind. Okay, first thing that I do is I write out my script, literally word for word. And this is just for me to put ideas on paper. And this is eventually the script that I will memorize slash kind of commit to memory. We'll talk about my strategy there. But I like to kind of put everything in words on paper so that I can kind of see the layout, see everything right then and there. And then from there, I can kind of trim things down so I could get to my minute mark. So I've submitted enough videos that I know exactly it takes me about 150 words on paper that I could say it out loud in a 1 minute video. Like that's to me, 150 words equals 1 minute video for me personally. So my first suggestion for you is if you are into the scripting route like I am, script your videos and practice to see how many words that you scripted will it take for you to have that 1 minute polished video. For me, it's 150. For you, you may be able to fit more words. You may talk faster. So everyone's word count will be a little bit different. And when it comes to my script, I'm not actually memorizing the words word for word. I kind of break it up into 4 main sections because I have mommy brain and it's foggy and it's fuzzy and I can't memorize every single word. I can't memorize 150 words. I just can't at this age. But I can remember 4 core pieces of my story. So maybe in the beginning, it's like the welcome and the about section or the hook section. So I'll remember, okay, my hook is this hook. So I will be able to ad lib my script because I remember that the first section is my hook section. And then the second section is my XYZ section, third section, fourth section. So I do have a script, like I mentioned. I do write it all out so that I can kind of have, like, in a perfect scenario, this is what I'd love to communicate. And then I divide that up into 4 main sections that I can realistically memorize. And then I can kind of off the cuff speak on for the 4 different sections there. Probably like an hour before I actually sit down and record the video, I'm practicing it so that it could kind of feel natural, so I could remember the 4 main key sections that I can again, it could feel natural and it could feel just like something that is normal for me or regular for me. I personally don't like to feel like I'm reading from a script, like I'm looking at you right now, or it feels like I'm looking at you right now. So I like to talk to camera or talk to the little lens. So to do that, it does require, at least for me, it requires some memorization there. And usually my 1-minute videos, it's never word for word. It doesn't work out that way, but it works because I had a focus, I had a direction, I kind of knew where I was gonna go and I practice it a lot. I am not a teleprompter person. Like I feel I'm also a podcaster. So riffing is like a big part of like what I do anyway. But for me, teleprompters, it doesn't work for me. My strategy is more about like how can I make a connection with this person on the other side of the screen who's going to be judging me and potentially funding me. How can I make that connection with that person as quickly as possible? However, if teleprompters work for you, I think you should totally do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Something else to me, like one of my core principles as a creator is like, I want if someone meets me for the first time out in the wild for it to feel like they know me based off of what they've seen, their videos of me. So I have like little things that I do. Like I look to the left a lot. Like I kind of, pause a little bit, or I might have like dramatic moments that it's just like, this is just how I present myself and how I am. I want when I meet a funder for them to kind of feel like, oh, yes, like she's quirky, she's a little spicy. Like it feels natural. And I feel like for me, teleprompters don't bring that across, but I know there's a lot of great ones, a lot of great apps. Funders, they're not looking for like a fancy YouTube studio. They're looking for a lot of times something that's recorded on our phones, like something very, very simple, record on your phones, simple things to do, like make sure you clean your lens. So you're no smudges on your lens. You have clear view. And it could easily just be as, like, putting your phone on a tripod or, like, sometimes what I do, funny enough, you could probably see, like, I have a window over there, so I'll just put my phone on my windowsill, and that way my face is well lit with the sunlight, and I can just record the video on my windowsill. It doesn't have to be super, like, well produced, but it does have to be clear, they have to be able to see your face, be able to hear you, and speaking of hearing, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I did that in the summertime. So I had my windowsill up, I had my whole little setup, I was recording my video, and after a bazillion chances and tries, I finally get the one that I'm like, "This is it. I'm good." And I, airdrop it to my computer and I'm listening to the audio and the audio is like terrible. You know why? Because there's lawnmowers in the background. There's a screaming child in the background. It was just like, oh my gosh, I can't submit this. So I did actually end up going into like a post-production video processor, like I'm a podcaster, so I have these things already. And I was able to like fix the audio and sync it up to the video and submitted it. And I won the grant. I won it. So sometimes there's little things that come up that you just kind of have to be aware of, whether that's lawnmowers or crying babies or just a lot of noise. I've also run into issues where I'm recording so many videos on my phone to try to get this one take that I've run out of storage on my phone. I'm like, "Oh, no, don't do this to me." So, there's things that come up. There's things that come up as you're trying to, put your applications together, but these are some of the things that for me that it's comical and funny, but definitely stressful at the end of the day when it comes to putting your video pitches together. I also try to think through what are the moments where I need to pause or like accentuate or emphasize or pull them in a little bit, like let them linger in a little bit in the words, like, or have inflections in my voice up and down, up and down. I don't think it makes or breaks your video submission, but I really try not to be flat, like just monotone. If you've ever kind of had a chance to kind of see YouTubers in action, they'll like, especially if you're like a guest, they'll be like, "Okay, la, 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 la," and then you put on the camera and they're like, "What's up, YouTube?" La, they're like so high energy and it's like it's a lot. But I could see why they want to kind of project energy and be energized for these videos because I think sometimes on camera you can kind of come off as flat. So I definitely try to think through like how can I just like show the energy, like I'm excited about this project. I love the work I do. I want to make sure that that's coming across. So I do think through it. And sometimes it's a matter of just like watching my previous takes and be like, you nailed the words, but your face looked bored. And it's like, okay, we need to do another take because it just needs to Everything needs to flow and match. Are you getting bored from watching your 1-minute video? If you're getting bored, the funders may get bored as well. So we can kind of, you know, think about that, ponder about that. And then something else, one last thing I wanted to share here is that I actually probably look meaner when I'm not smiling. And then I smile, and then everything kind of lights up a little bit. Like, it just kind of feels like, "Ah, okay, like, she's not mean, or she's not, like, just, like, I don't have a resting face." So that's something that I'm also very aware of, is to smile. So I actually start all my videos with, like, a smile, and then I speak for my 1 minute, and then I kind of cut out the smile so that it kind of naturally flows. When I start the video, it's a relaxed state versus a "Hi, everyone, welcome." It's more, like, natural. When I smile, I kind of feel think happy thoughts, so that kind of, like, just just it kind of spreads everywhere in the rest of the minute that I record. Still, regardless of all the things, I still take 50 takes. I think my last video took, like, 20 takes. It took a lot of takes. Some takes are, like, 4 seconds, like, I already messed up in 4 seconds. Some takes are, like, 57 seconds. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm just almost there, I'm almost there." And then I hit the minute and I'm like, "Okay, I'm smiling, I have energy, I'm energized, I hit my 4 main points, ready to go, ready to go." If you are a creator who's applying for grants and there's a video submission, I highly encourage you to continue on that vein and to apply and practice video submissions. I don't think video is gonna go away. I think more and more funders wanna get that certainty from video. They wanna know you, they wanna get to know you, they wanna feel like they know you. They wanna like and trust you as well, and I think written is one piece, but also video is very compelling as well. So I was a creator where I would definitely not apply for things that had video, and I definitely left so much money on the table. Now I'm like, "Video? Okay." My neck cracks a little bit like, "Okay, let's go." I have my system that's working now. If you see something that says video is optional, it's a lie. It's a lie. They say optional, but the creators who are taking that next step to put the time in to do the video will stand out a bit more because they took the time to bring that face to face interaction.